Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually recording this video from the village in Nyakach. Fred Okengo Matiangi yesterday endorsed Raila Odinga for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya in 2022. And a lot of you guys have actually asked me to explain to them what that endorsement means. The endorsement by Fred Matiangi is actually significant in so many ways. Number one, Fred Okengo Matiangi becomes the first cabinet secretary or the first minister for Interior to endorse an opposition leader for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya. Interior Ministry is the ministry which oversees the transition process in this country, and it manages the security apparatus. Normally, it's supposed to endorse or to support either a deputy president or someone who is being sponsored by the state. So in this case, you want to assume that Raila Odinga is being sponsored by the state. So that's significant. Number two, when Fred Matiangi was making that endorsement, there was the presence of Mutahi Kagwe. Mutahi Kagwe was being positioned as a potential running mate to Fred Okengo Matiangi. That's significant because for those who've been on this channel for a long time, I've always explained that there were four camps around the president. The first camp believed that the president ought to have reconciled with his deputy and then support his deputy. But that camp was subdued earlier last year. And then there was the second camp which believed that President Uhuru Kenyatta should actually support Raila Odinga. And that's the camp where the president is, and that's the camp which is currently prevailing. And then there was a third camp which believed that the president and his team ought to have supported a compromise candidate. They argued that Raila Odinga should retire with President Uhuru Kenyatta and that Raila Odinga was unelectable. So this camp was pushing for Musalia Mudavadi, and some people were actually pushing for Fred Okengo Matiangi. And then there was the last camp where Mutahi Kagwe and Fred Matiangi were being paired. This camp believed that President Uhuru Kenyatta ought to have appointed or chosen someone amongst his cabinet. And the fact that Fred Matiangi endorsed Raila Odinga in the presence of Mutahi Kagwe means that that's something they discussed, and therefore that camp has also been subdued. So around President Uhuru Kenyatta, as we speak now, there are only two camps remaining. The camp which believes that Musalia Mudavadi should be supported, and the camp which believes that Raila Odinga should be supported. President Uhuru Kenyatta has advised Musalia Mudavadi to support Raila Odinga based on NIS report. So it's significant because of that. Number three, there was the presence of Eugene Wamalwa. Who is Eugene Wamalwa? Eugene Wamalwa is the Cabinet Secretary for Defense. Now we have the Minister for Defense and Minister for Interior endorsing Raila Odinga. What does that tell you? It tells you that the president and his team are already or have already begun the process of transition. So you guys should be prepared for a possibility of Raila Odinga's presidency, which in my view is now almost certain. But what does that mean, the endorsement by Matiangi in general? That endorsement by Matiangi, in my view, it means direct endorsement from President Uhuru Kenyatta. And I can easily say and confirm that President Uhuru Kenyatta has actually issued directive to his cabinet secretaries to support Raila Odinga. And that's why anytime Raila Odinga is attending an Azimio la Umoja meeting anywhere, be it in Rift Valley, be it in Central, be it in Northeastern, be it in Coast, be it in Nyanza, you always see cabinet secretaries accompanying Raila Odinga. That means the president has issued a directive. There's no way Cabinet Secretary for Defense, Cabinet Secretary for Interior, Cabinet Secretary for Finance can attend Azimio la Umoja meetings and endorse Raila Odinga without President Uhuru Kenyatta's direct endorsement. So the endorsement by Matiangi yesterday, in my view, is significant. But why is that endorsement important? That endorsement is important because of because of these 5 reasons. Number one, the backing of the deep state. The backing of the deep state. The truth of the matter is that Raila Amolo Odinga supporters believes very strongly that there is nothing they can do without the backing of the deep state. They believe that if the deep state cannot support Raila Odinga, then Raila Odinga should not run. And the signal which Matiangi is sending is that being the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and Omalo being the Cabinet Secretary for Defense means that Raila Odinga now enjoys the backing of the deep state. That alone is enough to excite Raila Odinga's support base. And therefore, that support base will turn out in large numbers to vote for Raila Amolo Odinga. And importantly, for those who follow politics, Fred Matiangi was deeply involved in 2017 politics. So when there was rigging, Matiangi was there. When there was management of post-election rigging, Matiangi was there. So he's going to play a key role for Raila Amolo Odinga in that regard. So that's significant. Number one is the deep state. And I think we all understand the influence and the power of the deep state. Number two is the Nyanza voting bloc. By Fred Matiangi now joining Raila Amolo Odinga, what does it mean? It means Nyanza is not speaking with one voice, because there were serious ones, for Fred Matiangi to actually contest for the presidency. That push now by Matiangi supporting Raila Odinga means that Kisii region, because remember, during the Bonchari by-election, Matiangi was actually pushed to support a candidate. And we also what happened. And after that, Raila Odinga and his brigades started propping up the guy called, this gentleman called James Ongwae. And Ongwae started accompanying Raila Odinga to almost all and each event Raila Odinga was attending. So now that Fred Matiangi has joined them, it means in Kisii, they're going to work as a block. Now in Nyanza, they're also going to work as a block. I'll be keenly following, or I'll be really interested in understanding the game plan Raila Odinga will have for the people of Kuria, because Kuria, in my view, are the only now remaining block. Number three is the perceptual value. Fred Matiangi coming and joining Raila Amolo Odinga now adds that perceptual value. The perceptual value that Raila Odinga is actually gaining ground across the country. That's significant. Perceptual value, politics is a game of numbers, both perceived and real. The fact that Fred Matiangi is now coming out to support Raila Odinga, the fact that Peter Munya is coming out to support Raila Odinga, the fact that the Cabinet Secretary for Finance, Ukuri Yatani, is coming out to support Raila Amolo Odinga, basically means that Raila Odinga is gaining ground. And you add that to what he's doing in central Kenya, what he's doing in other regions, anybody watching is now saying that Raila Odinga is actually gaining the ground. So Fred Matiangi joining Raila Odinga adds that perceptual value, because number one, Fred Matiangi was a potential presidential candidate. And when Raila Odinga spoke yesterday, he stated that Fred Matiangi actually wanted to run for the presidency and he was willing to support Fred Matiangi. And what happened was the fact that Fred Matiangi later told him that he has done a survey and that survey doesn't really favor him for the presidency. So it adds a lot of perceptual value to Raila Odinga's bid. And number four is the Kisis in diaspora. You know, Kisis are the other tribe apart from Kikuyus who are found all over or across the entire region. Kisis and in diaspora will get signals from the ground. And if that signal is saying that Raila Odinga is the candidate, that Matiangi is supporting Raila Odinga, Peter Raka. If that ground is saying that Raila Odinga is the candidate, then it simply means that those gentlemen are likely to stop. And those candidates are likely. Sorry, someone distracted me with the is coming to fetch water at our home. Now, I was saying that Kisii diaspora will get the signal from the ground. So if Ongwae and Matiangi are united, then it means their factions spread across the country will also be united in supporting Raila Amolo Odinga. And importantly, number five is Fred Matiangi's versus Ruto's politics. We all know that Fred Matiangi has been a thorn on the flesh or in the flesh of William Ruto's camp. What does that mean? It means that if Ruto becomes the president, Matiangi doesn't know where he's going to be. It also means that Fred Matiangi is not assured of his position should William Ruto become the president. Which means, therefore, that Fred Matiangi will do everything possible within his powers to try and block or lock out William Samoei Ruto from the presidency. That's the reality. And because he's out to block William Ruto from succeeding President Uhuru Kenyatta, the truth is, which is very simple, he's going to do everything to block the DP. And because he will be willing to do everything to block the DP, that is going to work to the advantage of Raila Amolo Odinga. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, doing it directly from the village. And this is my village. This is my village. It's a nice village. That's my father's house. Yeah, very nice village. The weather is fantastic. Yeah, the weather is fantastic, though we have very small land here. Yeah, so I want to thank those who've been supporting me during this trying moment as we plan to lay my late father to rest next weekend, just a matter of days now. I want to thank you so much, so much. There's just nothing which can describe that feeling. Now, for those who want to reach me out, you can reach me on WhatsApp using 0777 741323. WhatsApp 0777 741323. And for those who want to support financially, you can reach out. Just send whatever you have on 0712 741323. 0712 741323. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.